Today we're taking a look at the AL75 from Yunzii, the 75% version from their growing wireless CNC Aluminium keyboard lineup. Thanks to Athena at Yunzii for sending this one over for a review. Check out the video description below where you'll find affiliate links and a discount code for 5% off across the Yunzii website. Onto the unboxing, and inside we find a manual, a box of accessories, and the fully assembled silver version of the AL75. Inside the box of accessories you get a cable, a switch and keycap puller, 2 spare switches and a set of blue accents. The badge, which covers the 2.4 GHz receiver storage compartment, comes separately so needs to be installed, and I swapped to the blue accents because I like the colour and they brighten up the board. I noticed a couple of things I didn't like while installing the badge and accents. First was the fact that the badge is going to be super difficult to remove once in, and you'll probably need to flip over the keyboard and give it a smack on the bottom to get it to pop out. Second was how tight the tolerance is between the outer keycaps and the case. The supplied keycap puller won't fit in the 1 unit escape and delete key case cutouts, which always bugs me, and you have to force the keycap puller between the case and keycaps to make room. It shouldn't be like this. The spacing between the keycaps themselves should be maintained between the keycaps and case to allow for using the switch and keycap pullers. Other than that, first impressions on the look and feel of the keyboard are good. I'm happy to see the paint job is much better than the red AL71 I previously tested. The finish on that was quite powdery and easy to mark, while this coating feels much more durable and doesn't easily mark or pick up fingerprints. This silver colourway almost looks like raw aluminium, which I really like. The keycaps are okay, a bit rough around the edges on a few. They're cherry profiled Doubleshot PPT, and in my opinion the legend weights on the alphas are too heavy, while on the modifiers they're too light. That said, you only pay an extra $15 for the switches and keycaps versus the barebone version, so pretty good for the money. The keyboard is really easy to take apart. There are just 8 case screws to remove from underneath the board. These are hex heads, and even though I have tools for disassembling the board, I'd prefer to see an Allen key included for those who don't. With those out, you can pop off the top case. You get a great cross-section view of the internals of the board with the top case off. You can see the gap between the plate and PCB, and the PCB and case are well and truly packed with foam. With the top case off, you just lift out the plate and PCB assembly. Mine was a little stuck in the case by the adhesive surface on the case foam, but it came out okay. There is just one JST wire to unplug from the PCB, and you can pop it out. The original plan was to remove some foam to compare to the stock typing test, which I did before disassembly, but the case foam is stuck to the bottom of the PCB and doesn't peel away without leaving adhesive residue behind, nor without risking ripping the pad. It also has this thick, clear plastic layer they call the PET sound pad stuck to the bottom of the case dampening, blocking access to the screws securing the plate and PCB together. I could get all of this off easy enough to disassemble the plate and PCB to at least remove the IXPE switch sheet, but I can't guarantee I'll be able to reinstate it all cleanly, so I'm not going to, as this board will be moving on before too long. I really don't like it when foam is stuck to the bottom of the PCB like this. It's fine for those of you that like a foamy sound, as it gives a combination of a tape mod kind of sound in addition to the foamy sound, but it's never easy to get it off in one piece, for if you later decide to run with it or sell the board. The case quality is nice throughout, with the 2x3000 mAh batteries neatly stowed away in their cutouts, with a daughter board allowing for easy disassembly. The plate on this one is polycarbonate, and I believe the plate and PCB assembly structure on the website is wrong, as it has the PE switch sheet below the PCB. I think the structure starting from bottom to top is the PET sound pad bottom, then the case foam, then the PCB, then another PET sound pad, then the IXPE switch sheet, then the plate foam, then the plate. So there's a lot going on in terms of dampening and tweaking the sound profile using layers of plastic and foam. The silicone gasket socks are pretty thin and are really just isolating the plate from the case, and even though the plate and PCB are flex cut, you won't get a great deal of flex as the case is packed with foam. I know this because while reassembling, the gaskets didn't land off in their slots in the bottom case, as the case foam needs to be compressed first while putting the top case on. The stabilizers are plate mounted and come with a small amount of factory lube. There are some gains to be made on these. The lube inside the stems wants topping up, and the outside of the stems could do with a touch of lube as well. The PCB is compatible with screw-in stabilizers if you were thinking of swapping them out, but you will have to peel away that case foam from the PCB. The switches are the Yunzii Cocoa Cream V2 linears, which also come with factory lube. The lube job is pretty nice, with a reasonable amount on the stem rails and a little on the bottom of the spring. Let's have a listen to the stock typing sound. The keyboard has a really loud, deep and poppy sound profile. Some people will absolutely love this sound profile straight out of the box, but for me it's a little bit too loud and too foamy, and I definitely wouldn't want to take it into an open plan office due to the volume of it. A lot of the volume comes from the switches, which feel like long poles. Have a listen to the Cocoa Creams versus a set of Cherry MX2 Blacks for comparison. This stock sound profile will be extremely popular, and this is what a lot of us were looking to achieve with the mods we made to our budget boards a few years back. Only with the AL75 you get it straight out the box. I would hand lube the stabilizers for sure, but other than that there's really not much to do if this is the sound profile you want. If this isn't the sound profile you want, and like me you prefer a less foamy board, I'd probably look at other budget CNC Aluminium keyboards like the Monsgeek M1 or the Sea-Doo V75, as the dampening is much easier to remove on those keyboards. I always like having the option of both fully assembled and barebone, but with the barebone costing $95 and the fully assembled just $110, it's worth thinking about getting the fully assembled keyboard in any case, as it's really good value, especially considering this is a Trimode wireless keyboard with a bit of RGB to boot. And that's it. I hope you found this useful, and I'll catch you in the next one.